All right, let's talk about something that's probably happening to your house right now, and you might have no idea. It's a problem that starts incredibly small, but can spiral into thousands of dollars in damage. It's kind of like a silent killer for your home.
So let me ask you something. I bet you can relate to this. Do you have that one room in your house? You know the one. It's always freezing in the winter, no matter how high you crank the heat. There's just this chill you can't seem to get rid of.
Well, what if I told you the answer to that little mystery, and a much, much bigger problem, is something you probably look at every single day, but you don't really see it? It's hiding right there, in plain sight. Yeah, we're talking about the caulking around your windows. And the crazy thing is, the first warning signs that this critical seal is failing are so subtle that pretty much everyone just writes them off. I mean, think about it. You feel a little draft. What do? You grab a sweater. You see some paint bubbling up? You'll add it to the to-do list for later. But these aren't just little quirks. They are whispers of a huge problem. That spike in your energy bill, that's not a fluke. It's your house fighting a losing battle against the elements. And this really gets to the heart of why we miss it. We tend to see caulking as, just a cosmetic finishing touch, but its real job, its crucial job, is to be your home's frontline defense. It's the weatherproof armor protecting the actual structure of your house. So, what happens when that armor, that all-important seal, finally gives up? Well, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow, steady, and relentless process. Think about its life story. When the house is new, that seal is perfect, watertight. But after years of getting baked by the sun, pounded by rain, and frozen by ice, that material just gives up. It gets brittle, it shrinks, it cracks. For a ton of homes out there, especially any built 10, 20, 30 years ago, that original seal is long gone, leaving the house totally vulnerable. And seriously, don't let the size fool you. You might see a tiny little hairline crack and think nothing of it. But in the world of weatherproofing, that's not a crack. That's a wide open door, inviting wind and water right into your walls. Now, this is where that open door lets in two very different kinds of invaders. One is just an annoyance you can feel. But the other is a silent destroyer, working its magic completely behind the scenes. So on one side, you've got the drafts. Let's call them the nuisance. They're what make your rooms cold and your energy bills skyrocket. Annoying? Yes. A catastrophe? Not really. But on the other side, you've got moisture. And this is the destroyer. Water seeps into that exact same crack, gets the wood framing wet, starts growing mold, and literally rots your house from the inside out. And that is the most important thing to understand here. The draft you feel, it's just a symptom. It's the smoke alarm going off. The moisture that you can't see is the actual fire that's already started inside your walls. Because once that rot gets a foothold, believe me, it doesn't stay put. It spreads. It's like a cancer moving through the bones of your home. It's this absolutely devastating chain reaction. First, the water soaks into the wood. Then, that wood softens and just starts to decompose. As the structure gets weaker, the heavy window it's holding up starts to sag and shift. All that pressure then starts cracking the drywall and pulling the trim right off the wall. So by the time you actually start seeing these red flags, your window's suddenly a pain to open and close, or you see cracks spider webbing out from the corners, that's not an early warning anymore. That's a giant sign that the rot is well underway and has already done serious damage. Okay, I know, that all sounds pretty awful. But here is the good news. This is entirely fixable. And, even better, it's preventable. So, let's talk about the solution. Now, fixing this the right way isn't about just slapping a new layer of caulk over the old stuff. No way. You have to completely cut out and remove all the old, failed material. Then, you've got to clean the surface so there's no dust or junk. Then, make sure it's completely dry. Only then can you lay down a new, proper seal. If you skip any of those steps, the new stuff is just going to fail in a year or two. And the material you use is absolutely critical. You can't just use any old cheap caulk. You need professional exterior-grade sealant. We're talking about silicone or polyurethane. This stuff is specifically made to stay flexible and watertight through brutal summer heat and bitter cold winters. Honestly, the best way to avoid this whole mess is a simple little routine. Twice a year, maybe when you're cleaning out your gutters in the spring and fall, just take a slow walk around your house. Look closely at the seals around your windows. Do you see any cracks? Is it peeling away? Is it all dried out? If you spot something, you can fix it before any real damage sets in. And that's really the bottom line. A few minutes of checking things out now can literally save you from a massive, complicated, and incredibly expensive repair job down the line. It's about protecting your comfort, your wallet, and the health of your home. So I'll leave you with this to think about. The next time you feel a draft, don't just brush it off. Ask yourself, what's really hiding behind my window frames?